Post-traumatic stress disorder is a chronic medical disorder that follows exposure to an overwhelming traumatic event. The term is seen to be widely associated with mental health problems suffered by soldiers returning from the war. This association is very true, but post-traumatic stress disorder does not only affect veterans. This disorder is twice as likely to happen in females than in males. And according to the National Institute of Mental Health, about 7.7 million American adults suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder every year. The majority of those suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder also suffer from many psychiatric disorders such as depression, substance abuse, and many also attempt suicide. A study was done at Case Western Reserve University that dealt with alcohol abuse and post-traumatic stress. The purpose was to see if any soldiers inherited alcohol abuse post-deployment, and if it was caused from post-traumatic stress disorder. Out of 963 participants, 113 screened positive for alcohol abuse post-deployment, of whom 66% reported signs of depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. Most of the psychologists say that people suffering from this get it off of their minds by turning to alcohol. They are trying to think of many new treatments for post-traumatic stress disorder because the abuse is becoming a huge problem. Since the war in Iraq and Afghanistan have began, 200,000 combat veterans have been treated by the Department of Veterans for post-traumatic stress disorder. But the VA says that they only see and treat about half of the veterans because they either seek help elsewhere or they turn to alcohol. The main treatments for this disorder are exposure therapy and cognitive therapy. Exposure therapy is when the patients talk over the traumatic events again and again to try and cope with their feelings. Cognitive therapy is when the patient learns about how different parts of the memory can lead them to have more stress. I thought to get a better understanding of this and how it really works is I would look into the brain. A study done at Stanford University, directed by Dr. Amit Edkin, dealt with the effects of bringing up traumatic events over and over again had on the brain. He used an fMRI to study the emotional reactions of patients with post-traumatic stress disorder. He found that cortisol, the same stress hormone that causes physical changes in the body, also are responsible for changes in the brain. Over time, he elevated that cortisol can cause death for neurons in the brain and can't be replaced. Because he found this, he is trying to come up with a new treatment for focuses on repairing emotional connections in the brain. I found this study to be very interesting, so I found another study done at Yale Psychiatric Institute. It involved 41 subjects, both male and female. 23 had post-traumatic stress disorder, and the other 18 did not. Participants were measured on heart rate, blood pressure, and salivary cortisol. They were given a cognitive challenge that dealt mainly with problem solving and memory. Cortisol levels elevated to 61% above the controls in subjects with post-traumatic stress. Their cortisol levels doubled right before the cognitive challenge and during the cognitive challenge because of the anticipation. The post-traumatic stress participants had a slightly higher heart rate of 6% compared to the control subjects. The main problem when it comes to post-traumatic stress disorder is that some people suffering from it don't go and get help that they need. The hallmark of post-traumatic stress disorder is a failure to recover psychologically from the trauma that one has suffered and consequently impairs the normal functions. Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone, even one of you in this room. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a very harmful disorder, but it can be treated. Thank you.